Morty gets cell phone reception in space. Meanwhile, I lose connection anytime a nearby squirrel farts.
Were we blades in that one?
For the love of snipes, how many times do I have to say it? Keep it singular. There's only one blade.
Look, I'd hate to be a nitpicky asshole, but since I love being a nitpicky asshole, I'm gonna give this a sin, because clearly Rick is referring to the fact that, in this universe, he and Morty both played a version of Blade, making the use of the plural logical.
Hello?
Morty gets cell phone reception in space. Meanwhile, I lose connection anytime a nearby squirrel farts.
Stupid fart joke is stupid.
Yeah, that's a great point.
The 3D holographic warning system, however, is operating at full capacity.
Hey, Discount Jeremy, have you ever thought that maybe, just maybe, the warning systems on a vehicle are supposed to work while the thing they're warning about is happening? 'Cause it wouldn't make much sense if the warning display popped up when life support was still intact.
I'd appreciate the detail in this call screen, except that your screen darkens when you have it next to your face, so there's really no reason for it to be showing anyway.
The screen going dark when it gets close to your face is because of the proximity sensor, which can be turned off in settings, meaning that Jessica probably just turned it off at some point.
Come on!
This works.
That's what I thought at first too, but then I reminded myself that this ship was invented by Rick, and it's also in a cartoon, so I decided not to give a shit, which is exactly what you should have done.
Touch the ocean, Morty!
Technically, the ship is touching the ocean. Rick and Morty are still in said ship, so I don't see how the treaty we're about to find out about with Mr. Nimbus has been broken.
Okay, this sin actually sets up a pretty funny joke, but it's still really stupid. Rick being in the ship still constitutes a breakage of the treaty because he's infringing on Mr. Nimbus's territory.
I am Mr. Nimbus! He's gonna say that a lot.
I mean, I would too if that was my name. It's Mr. Nimbus!
Discount Jeremy sins something he likes cliche.
So time moves faster in there? It's like a Narnia thing? I'm not a beaver who believes in Jesus Christ, Morty.
I think they call them Bellbeavers. They're a distant cousin to the Beliebers.
Not gonna lie, I almost cried after hearing this sin.
We didn't ask if you were a Narnian, just if it was like Narnia in there. I don't know, man. All that defensiveness probably means you want to believe in Jesus.
Talk about stupid nitpicking.
Fight. Flee.
Jeez, Nimbus sums up the entirety of the human relationship cycle in 5 seconds. I don't know whether to take a sin off for the intense but hilarious depth, or sob in the corner contemplating the mundanity of my existence.
Discount Jeremy sins something he likes cliche.
The wine survives this. Centuries of this.
That's the joke.
Can you believe he bought that tree bullshit?
Easier than I can believe they've been running the simulation nonstop all these years just waiting on Morty to return.
The premise of the joke is that the entire civilization has been built around killing Morty, so why are you finding this hard to believe?
But sure, yeah, go for it. Make us slightly more wet.
Title of my sex tape?
Discount Jeremy says boner.
Well, I don't see any stakes at all.
Summary of the biggest issue with Rick and Morty at this point somehow makes it into the episode.
You two are hungry.
Yep. Good thing you made a fresh plate of, I'm gonna say, strained orange pulp? Mashed potatoes with amber food coloring?
This naming random foods bit goes on for some time.
Can I kill God?
Stop, Summer.
Summer took out an onslaught of underwater foes in the previous episode. How would she not be useful when going to battle anyone? And sure, she's a clone, so maybe that wasn't this summer, but it's too early in this episode to know that.
Discount Jeremy answers himself in the same sin cliche.
Sweetie, don't get all worked up before your job interview.
Job interview.
Show doesn't resolve this. I mean, I know that's the point, but you can almost hear the audible glee in the writer's room when...
Skip.
No, they died. This show has killed its main characters so much that caring about them is like eating your 8th piece of pizza.
When I tell you to skip, I fucking mean that shit.
Hunt me, somebody hunt me!
If Sweaty Deathwish here truly wanted to be hunted, he'd be hiding in a bit more stealth. What he should be saying is, chase me, or kill me.
Pointless nitpicking is pointless.
I'm Mr. Always Wants to Be Hunted!
Yes, and how interesting did you think that would stay?
Show then proceeds to hunt itself for the next 20-some minutes, making another self-referential dig, which in turn makes my job even harder, so ding it I shall.
A whole bunch of bullshit.
The only explanation as to how this green car missed the arrival of a spacecraft and the obliteration of the adjacent vehicle is distracted driving.
Or, and hear me out, because this explanation is going to be really complicated, since the car is driving away from the attack, maybe they did see it and are trying to put distance between themselves and the murderous squid.
Decided it was maybe better as a kind of kinetic mislead for another special episode.
Jeez, Rick and Morty is so up its own ass with his fourth wall destruction. And I swear an episode in season 6 will just be a
skip.
But then eat people. Yeah.
During this scene, I thought, oh, interesting, I'm eating popcorn too. And then, as each murder devolves into organs and viscous explosions...
How many fucking times do I have to say skip?
Alright, we've seen enough of these decoy houses to ask the question. Are we really suggesting that all these decoys have been set up with not only identical houses, but in identical neighborhoods?
Hey, Aaron, are you unaware that this is a cartoon?
So 3 spaceships, a lava gun, a house engulfed in flames, and exactly 0 nosy neighbors? Show doesn't know how to suburb correctly.
Okay, Discount Jeremy, what do you want the neighbors to do? If you're suggesting that they should call the cops, that's dumb, because it wouldn't matter, because the cops would never even be able to get close to Rick. And if you want a shot of them watching all of these events, then that's also dumb, because it would be a waste of time.
Why are we wearing these?
Better question, where did you get these? Do they have an assortment of fabrics and foam to construct these costumes? Did they make a stop at the fabric store?
This is a cartoon.
There's one.
Conveniently.
How is it convenient? They're hunting each other down. That's why they're right there.
What about the squids?
The Summers are going to explain that the squids were decoys who realized they were decoys and wanted to kill the other decoys, and sure, fine, whatever. But in a world of apparently countless decoys, have none of them died before now to start this Asimov cascade?
The show actually implies that Rick only made these decoys recently, so it's not as if they've had a long time in which to start this chain reaction.
I'll just point out once again that no one outside of the Smith family seems to be interested in this insane activity happening all around them.
Look, I could point out why these sins are incredibly stupid again, but I'd prefer to settle for Discount Jeremy double dips cliche.
Rick survives this.
And why shouldn't he? He's Rick. He's basically immortal.
What the f was that?
Kidnapping.
Hells yeah, I fucking love merch.
Okay, show, when you say you love merch and you flaunt a shirt, you sell it. We have a new Prometheus shirt we showed off in a video recently. It's also available in our store.
Plugging your merch in a YouTube video is definitely a sin.
My acid rain will destroy all things green and natural.
But not the very natural skin of the Diesel Weasel, or its very natural body parts in general. Those are immune.
It's called a cartoon, Discount Jeremy. Deal with it.
Mother Nature has enlisted the help of 4 young adults from each major ethnicity.
That's actually not racist, but the way the show pokes fun of it might be.
Look, I get that it's a joke, but it's still kind of stupid how willing Discount Jeremy is to call random shit racist.
Taylor Murphy dumps me the day before his hella big pool party, and my little brother's dating a Phase 4 superhero.
Actually, Summer, I think you'll find that Planetina can't even be in Phase 4 because...
Skip.
Shoot me in the fucking head until I die.
A comment that is very triggering, while simultaneously meaningless after that bullshit decoy episode.
A whole bunch of bullshit.
Bonding with your grandparent over, and I can't believe I'm going to say this, the while in the...
Don't look now, but someone's giving you the big eye.
Wait a second. Can we pause the video real quick? Did you guys notice how the editors forgot to add a ding sound after that sin? Come on, editors. You're better than that.
One of these has to be hers. Where'd she go?
Where'd the purses come from? They leapt away seconds ago and returned with 50 bags.
It's a cartoon.
Idiots, that her away. No, wait,
Isn't it interesting how they can summon Planetina and whatever she is holding, but can also force her to be dismissed without the item she holds?
They can presumably summon her with whatever she's holding because they don't know what she's holding. You know, since she isn't with them. But once she gets to them, they can send her away without Morty because they can see that she is holding him. I know I suck at explaining shit, but it's actually a pretty simple concept.
Oh, that's how you smoke marijuana. I mean, I of course knew that because I smoke the reefer all the time. Wow, how about this weather? Sure is unseasonably warm tonight.
Cringy bullshit sin is cringy and bullshit.
Morty shows up in a murder pie hat, and my question is, did he swipe a hat from a local pizzeria with that name?
It's a cartoon. You know what? Never mind. Just put 10 cents up on the counter.
I'm not a fan of gratuitous murder, but this right here gets my seal of approval. Sorry, I've been harboring that one for a while.
Holy shit, the cringe is real.
Not keeping your eyes on the road while driving through what appears to be an asteroid field.
Never tell me the odds.
Then I put my sunglasses on and walked out like nothing happened.
What a romantic story about our son killing a room full of people.
I don't care if they were technically in self-defense. Morty just admitted to multiple murders while casually playing whatever the fork this board game is, and no one cares? And no, Jerry and Beth, that quip and those mildly withering stares do not count as disapproval.
Except you constantly sin this show for having the Smith family get surprised by shit that Rick and Morty do. But now, when they're not all that surprised or concerned, you sin it anyway. Pick a lane, people.
I only want to spend as much time as possible with your son.
My son is 14, miss.
I'm really glad that someone is finally addressing the underaged elephant in the room. But why is Beth, A, the only person to realize that this is sick and wrong, and B, more outraged by this than all of the recently described boner-induced bloodlust?
Beth is the only one who can see the awfulness of the situation because Jerry is an idiot. And second, Discount Jeremy says boner.
There's only one solution for a solution!
Whatever that solution is, I'm fairly certain it lays somewhere on the spectrum after rhyming couplets, but way before multiple homicides.
Whoa, 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 hold up. The editors forgot to add the ding sound again. What is going on with this video?
Is genocide really a palatable price to pay for the sake of Rick's party boner?
Discount Jeremy says boner. Again.
Come on.
Yeah, because rolling a barrel of horse semen from the street is much easier than backing up the station wagon to the garage. So Beth is standing at the washing station, washing this bloody body part, which she then throws away. She turns back to the water to wash the blood off her gloves? But why wash your gloves at all when, one, you're just going to throw them away, and two, you should be washing your hands?
I agree that she should be washing her hands, but she's washing the gloves because she wants to disinfect them.
I can't believe I'm going to ask this question, but since we find out soon Morty is going to f the Bojacker, how exactly does he get his Morty Jr. into it? He's practically at eye level with the entry point.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe by standing on something? Seriously, it's not that difficult. Not that I would know.
You know that race of underground-dwelling cannibal horse people that we're always fighting? Yeah, the Chuds. What about them?
You can't just take an acronym that has already situated itself in previous pop culture and make it your own? And how would the acronym even work in this form?
Or maybe the term Chud is actually the name of the species, and not an acronym.
Space sperm? Sperm from space?
Is anything a stretch for the Smith family? They've seen countless unexplainable things up to this point, so this newest shenanigan should end in a casual shrug.
I mean, it doesn't really matter how many weird things you've seen. If you see murderous space sperm, you're not gonna be shrugging that off.
How do we deal with these orgazogoblins?
Who's gonna tell the writers that sperm and orgasms are not synonymous? Just because he oomphs doesn't mean she zoomphs.
Discount Jeremy takes things too literally, cliché. Also, in this specific case, Morty obviously did orgasm every single time, so the name technically does make sense.
Get this guy a Nobel Prize.
You became a woman today.
Yeah, that checks.
Discount Jeremy sins something he likes, cliché.
Silence in the presence of me. I am the sperm queen.
I don't even need to question this one. Title of my sex tape.
That is a terrible sex tape title.
You have the horse jerk-off machine from my daughter's hospital.
It's kind of weird that Rick knows for certain this breeding machine is the one in Beth's workplace, no?
Seeing as horse hospitals aren't super common, and Rick has obviously seen this machine before when he took the barrel of sperm, this sin is stupid.
Oh, but our stallion is already here.
I get that Morty created all of them in the first place, but do they really need Morty to continue their race? Every spermable person could be eligible for this very disgusting, highly sticky, nightmare-inducing situation that I'm totally not signing up for a chance to experience myself.
But if they used someone else, that person's sperm wouldn't have the same DNA as Morty's. Holy shit, I can't believe I'm explaining this.
You come to the kingdom of Chuds for forgiveness?
Technically, Rick and Morty were kidnapped to the kingdom of Cahuds, so...
Skip.
Let's Nancy Reagan this bitch.
I would say that none of this hopping from sperm to sperm should work, but really we could just say that about the entirety of this show.
And why is that a sin? Are you really sinning Rick and Morty for being unrealistic? That's like sinning CinemaSins for making dumb jokes that aren't funny. Wait.
A giant incest baby in space? Still makes more sense than 2001, I guess.
Discount Jeremy makes a pop culture reference that isn't a sin of the episode cliche.
Hell's not bad. I do not enjoy hell. What have you done?
Turn pain back into pain, bitch.
No, I don't want pain to hurt. Baby.
Consider my debt paid.
Oh, the leather. It hurts my balls.
Jerry, can you watch the kids tonight?
No, we can't watch the kids. It's guys' night.
Not telling anyone else how to parent, but why is Beth even asking Jerry to watch the kids? Summer's old enough to watch Morty, and they've left the home alone before in prior episodes.
Maybe they wanted to leave someone with the kids because they've left them alone before and therefore know what can happen.
They're all crowning. I have to go.
Show leaves the achieving the rare triple crown joke in the stable.
A whole bunch of bullshit.
I'm not sure if this creature has a tongue peen or a mouth gina, but either way, this pengina dentata is getting a sin.
Discount Jeremy sins something I'm pretty sure he likes cliche.
Hey, we're in luck, gang. They've got the entire Smash Mouth catalog.
Smash mouth shaming. What? They had that song? You know the one? There was Haying Now.
Skip.
Nuh-uh-uh. Nuh-uh-uh. I said don't touch my shit. Also, I just watched Jurassic Park on cable.
Explaining your references. You could be brilliant, Rick and Morty, but you're a coward.
Let's be honest. If they didn't explain this, you'd be sinning it for being Discount Jurassic Park.
Seriously, though. Touch my shit and I'll freeze your dick in amber.
So, how exactly would that threat stop Summer from touching his
Hey, it's 2022, man. I'm sure plenty of biological women have dicks.
Are you sure about that?
Bow, bow. Oh, yeah.
As much as this Bueller's on for some time, I'm surprised the title of this episode wasn't Rickus Mortler's Rick Day Off Morty.
Maybe because the writers of the show aren't stupid?
Why is it that whenever the Smiths bring some rando on one of these adventures, said rando is never freaking the out? Chutback should be chutbacking his pants right now, or at the very least asking how the they're flying in space.
Dude, that's literally part of the joke, that this kid is so chill and cool that he doesn't blink an eye at literal space travel.
Except I don't get pleasure from mocking others because I'm not lame.
No sin here, just really great show.
Skip.
What is that?
Essence of hell.
How did they get this drink or these cups? They didn't have any of this on them when they entered through the Hell Gate.
Okay, you're watching an episode where hell demons are hanging out in a bar on Earth. Why are you questioning how they got their drinks?
Why would I like a Changeformer? I'm the most powerful car in the universe.
And what? That means you don't have feelings?
Actually, yes, it does. It's a car.
That's racist.
Isn't a doorknob a virgin?
Not mine.
That fake-ass laugh.
What do you expect? I mean, she's my wife.
I almost want to take a sin off for the show pointing out that Borat isn't all that funny. But then again, this made me think of how unfunny Borat is, and that irritated me, so...
Discount Jeremy sins something he likes cliche.
Remember, Beth is just a cartoon. Remember, Beth is just a cartoon.
Discount Jeremy has a boner.
So there's not nearly explanation enough for how Rick has created these outfits. Is Beth really bleeding? Did they stop at a costume store? Does Rick really have a hole in his midsection now?
I have a question too. Does anyone give a shit?
I think the statute of citations is about up on sending Rick and Morty producing complex devices out of thin air like this arm cannon. So in order not to let it slip by, I'll just point out that something can't come from nothing. Something has to come from something.
Sinning the technology in an episode of Rick and Morty.
Well, happy Thanksgiving to me.
Celebrating yourself. With weapons like that, it almost makes you wonder why taking out any of the other decoy families or sperm monsters in previous episodes was a big deal at all.
Sinning the logic in an episode of Rick and Morty.
Once again, all kinds of going down at the Smith's house, and there are no nosy neighbors to be seen. Has anyone that works on this show lived in the suburbs?
This sin is really dumb. Just because you can't see any nosy neighbors doesn't mean there aren't any. I mean, for real, If the US military is surrounding the house next to yours, are you seriously gonna walk outside, grab a lawn chair, and watch? It's the military, not a crazy ex-girlfriend.
Coop, not on Thanksgiving.
How would she know who was calling Coop? Does he have a specific vibration pattern for turkey time?
The joke is that this situation happens constantly, so his girlfriend knows what's going on because it's happened so many times before. I know that TV Sins just likes to be overly literal and everything, but I'm still enough of an asshole to sin that shit.
What happened to the clothes they were wearing? Did they meld into the skin of the turkey?
Okay, so I know this sin is meant to be a joke. The premise being that they're sinning this ridiculous show with overly literal questions, but can I just ask, does anyone actually find this funny? It's just kind of boring.
Wearing heels on a lawn. Also wearing socks with heels on the lawn.
Discount Jeremy double dips cliche.
Here comes dipshit, right on schedule. Nothing can go wrong now.
Aside from things immediately going wrong, I'm curious how the original plan would have gone from here. In order to be pardoned, Rick would have to be the selected turkey.
Dude, you're asking this question in an episode where Marines are turned into fucking turkeys to stop a mad scientist from getting pardoned by the president. Do you see why that's dumb?
Because bird stomachs are just filled with air, so when you punch them, whatever is inside just cannons outward.
Again, I know it's all a joke, but Discount Jeremy fails to understand the fact that this is a cartoon cliche.
Why does this turkey look anything like the president when it's transformed? The pill was simply a transmitter assigned to the president. There was no mention of it being DNA encoded, and why would it be?
Not to be nitpicky, but actually the pills are DNA encoded.
So, to be clear, the president planned to straight up murder Rick and Morty for charring a little piece of the Constitution and activating a war machine that he doesn't actually care about in the first place?
No matter how little the president personally cares about their crimes, Rick and Morty did destroy part of the Constitution, which is obviously a very big deal, and they set a robot on New York, which is also a big deal, so long as you agree that thousands of people dying is a big deal.
I am selling New York to France and giving all of the money to Congress.
I want to sin the idea that these tactics would prove to be this simple, but sadly I'm more inclined to believe they really are this simple.
Discount Jeremy sins something he likes cliche.
There is more bare ass in this episode than both Boss Baby movies combined.
Discount Jeremy makes a pop culture reference that isn't a sin of the episode cliche.
We've got Rick and Morty coming in what appears to be an unlicensed Star Wars AT-AT, or as the millennials say, AT-AT.
Ah yes, the is Die Hard a Christmas movie argument for Star Wars fans, except it's even more annoying.
It's treason, then.
Also, Discount Jeremy never confirmed which way he pronounces AT-AT, so that's definitely a sin. It would have been 10 sins if he had said AT-AT.
Aw, they love each other.
Perplexing, sure, but even more confusing may be the fact that the far superior race of aliens willingly returns to their secret chamber to re-enter some sort of cryogenic status so they can be called upon again at some point in the future by a civilization that they do not have to support.
I'm so fucking sick of sinning this shit that I'm just gonna put 10 sins up on the board and call it a day.
It's Gotron time! Oh my god! Hell, yes!
This is amazing!
Okay, now we can knock it around a little bit, but trust me, we're still building to something.
How do we
just hit buttons? We're too big to fail!
Boo World! Boo World!
Singing in the car. Also, Summer's the person that always holds their note after the song is clearly over to show off. We get it, Cindy. You know how notes work.
Both of these opening sins only exist to give us a smooth transition into the rest of this video. They don't actually mean anything to the episode. They're just pointless fluff.
No f***ing way. It can't be.
This one's just for the commenters that said that Rick might have missed Jerry being in the back seat in a previous video. Dude just spotted the glint of a Gotron ferret out of the corner of his eye from a couple 100,000 miles away.
Discount Jeremy takes a cartoon at face value cliche.
Joe thinks it's all cute, including snippets of actual episodes in the opening credits, but now that we're here, this section is redundant, and therefore wasteful, and therefore sinned.
Says the guy who makes filler jokes that aren't funny in literally every single video he does. Hypocrisy is hypocritical.
Told you. Let's just get Gene from next door and a homeless guy.
Considering this episode decides to have some actual continuity by bringing the incest baby in space back, I'd also like to note in that exact same episode, Rick runs over Gene, and therefore he would not be available for Gotron activities.
So let's put aside the fact that this is a cartoon that doesn't need to make sense for just a second. Maybe Gene getting run over happened a long enough time ago that he would be okay to join in. I mean, not every pedestrian car accident is crippling, so Gene could have recovered by now.
Where are we ziplining through futuristic metallic tunnels to?
You're going to the center of a volcano.
Incorrect. The correct answer is you're ziplining to a transport ship that will take you to the center of a volcano.
Pointless nitpicking is pointless.
Holy shit, I can't believe this is working.
Neither can I. Summer and Morty should either be passed out or vomiting profusely now after being swung around like that. Not to mention they're upside down when being fired.
It's a cartoon, dude. Just let it happen.
Holy Sunny D, look at that purple stuff. What kind of circulatory system would be pushing that amount of fluid through it at that pressure?
Okay, these overly literal sins are not funny or entertaining in any way. They're just boring, and that's coming from someone who loves cinema sins. This shit is just stupid and repetitive.
I swear the only alien animation rule for this show is there somewhere you can put a nipple or a nutsack? Then do it!
And why is that a sin? Oh, you're not gonna explain? Alrighty then.
Hothead Rick, he got that name because he was prone to dramatic outbursts.
Explaining nicknames that need zero explanation.
Let's be honest, if they didn't explain his nickname, Discount Jeremy probably wouldn't be smart enough to infer its origins.
And those Gotrons formed the Go-Gotron.
These transformations make so little physical sense that it's clear this episode attended the Michael Bay School of Transforming Things.
Not only is this yet another logic sin in a cartoon, but Discount Jeremy also made a pop culture reference that wasn't a sin of the episode. Cliché.
Are those boot bucks?
How did these three even know he missed out on going to Disneyland? For that matter, how do they even know they have the right Morty?
Who fucking cares?
Dad, you know that's not what I do around here.
No, I'm not your dad. I'm a version of him.
But how does he know that's not his Summer? How does he know that's the Summer that is the Rick second in command?
I'm gonna refer you to the previous sin.
I mean, look at me. I'm easy to make happy, which is why nobody gives a shit if I am.
This statement is so depressingly true, I'm giving a sin for it.
Discount Jeremy sins something he agrees with, cliché.
As you guys recall, and as a lot of people keep bringing up, Morty and I did accidentally create a giant incest baby.
Only Rick and Morty could pull off a Chekhov's giant incest baby ex machina through a full minute of exposition and still make me consider removing sins for it instead of adding them. After further consideration, I'm adding the sins anyway because we all have a part to play in this crazy world and my fate was decided long ago.
So, Discount Jeremy sins something he likes, cliché?
Hello to my little me.
Title of my sex tape?
Nope. Cringy sex tape joke is cringy.
But how did you get here? Where did you find him? How do you still have your suits? How did you know where Rick would be? Who changes the America diaper if Incest Baby has to launch a missile from his rear port?
Holy shit. Watching TV with these people must be a fucking nightmare. It's a cartoon. Nobody gives a shit about any of this because it doesn't fucking matter.
Dropping into Blood Ridge. One final chance to stop the Federation offense.
Episode expects us to believe that Rick would help pack the car for a trip he's not even going on.
But think about it. Rick wants to work on his bird person project, and he likes to do that without the family there, so he has a distraction-free environment. Therefore, he's probably trying to get rid of the family so that he can be alone sooner.
Are you sure, Rick? I know a cruise doesn't sound like an adventure on paper.
What? A cruise only sounds like an adventure on paper. All you can eat food, the ocean views, random encounters with mysterious strangers.
Skip.
Ionic coaster deployed.
What does Rick need an ionic coaster for when he has so much free space on that workbench right next to him?
Asking logic questions about an episode of Rick and Morty.
Approaching pause pregnancy in P-5.
Jesus Christ.
This fake-ass laugh.
How can a mind be hidden by itself inside itself?
The first question Christopher Nolan asked before starting every screenplay somehow makes its way into this episode.
I'm just here to remind everyone that Inception, the movie he's referencing right now, does not refer to a thing within a thing. It actually refers to the concept of planting an idea in someone's head while making them think that it's their idea.
Suggestion: don't go in.
Right. The AI is loose enough to offer fellatio for its own survival, but still rigid about saying command words like suggestion before every sentence.
Why the fuck does saying the word suggestion make the AI rigid? How does that make any sense?
Yeah, hop to a different timeline, grab a version of my friend that suits me best. That's not how this works.
And why not? Exactly.
Think about it, Discount Jeremy. Think. Bird Person obviously knows about the multiverse, which means that he might not go with Rick willingly. You have to remember that Rick is trying to get his friend back, and he doesn't want an alienated version of Bird Person.
Now I got yolk balls.
Title of my sex tape?
Satire, comedy.
You see an older version of him come through here?
What?
Talking out of just one side of your bosom. Seriously, you've got two jabber jubblies. Use them both.
Okay, sins like this really make me wonder, what's the fucking point? This sin is not legitimate criticism, it's not satire, and it's not funny. So why does it exist?
Why was my 9th birthday party in a pine tree?
Pine tree pizza is still at least 19% better than what they serve at Chuck E. Cheese.
Discount Jeremy sins something he kind of likes, cliche.
Situation: not looking ideal.
Rick and Bird Person survive this.
Because of the events of this episode? Seriously, this running gag doesn't work half the time you use it.
I am Rick's garage.
Oh, like a Jarvis, like Jarvis in Iron Man.
Well, that's a strange way to say, what the f***? This garage with a dying man hooked up to some sort of cyborg bird creature is talking to me.
Okay, I'm gonna go on a bit of a tangent. Ready? In previous episodes, Discount Jeremy has sinned the fact that none of the Smiths' neighbors are watching the crazy shit going down at their house. But now you get this neighbor who's not even fazed by a sentient garage, which would suggest that he's watched the Smiths. And yet you still sin it? What the fuck?
This is where you being this leads. You're not my fault. I'm yours.
This is all fun self-therapy and all, but Rick isn't engaging with his younger self. He's engaging with how not Michael Keaton's Birdman remembers his younger self, so why his argument?
But maybe Bird Person's memory of younger Rick is accurate? Seriously, this isn't rocket science.
This Battle of Blood Ridge goes on for all the some time.
Discount Jeremy hates action scenes. Also, sinning the Battle of Blood Ridge.
Okay, you matter. To me.
Oh, look, the show that spent several seasons teaching me that Rick has exactly zero moral compass and is a complete dick to almost everyone he meets in the service of humor is now asking me to have emotions about this.
But that's not true. Have you not paid any attention to this show at all? There have been plenty of instances in which Rick has gone through therapeutic experiences, and we've seen that he actually does care about his family and friends. In other words, Discount Jeremy is full of shit.
Sorry, but we do not get to choose the ones we love.
But we can choose our friends, and we can choose our noses, but we should never choose our friends' noses.
Skip.
Rick Sanchez, you're under arrest for making me spend 2 years in Earth High School.
I bet this show would be really fun for people who could remember all the details of all the other Tammy plots. I've got the memory of a goldfish, so all those callbacks mean nothing to me.
See, I realize that this sin was meant as a joke, but it's not funny, so I'm gonna take it literally for a second. Having a shitty memory is not the show's fault.
Pretending prisoners have servers that go around and dish out food to the prisoners. Does this look like a white-collar crime prison to you?
But it's an alien prison, not an Earth prison. Seriously, why the fuck are you trying to apply real-life logic to this fake prison? Rick wants to work on his Bird Person project, and he likes to do that without the family there, so he has no... Mess that up. How does that make any sense? Because of the events of this episode. Seriously, this running gag doesn't work because of the events of this episode? Okay, I'm gonna go on a bit of a tangent. But that's not true. Have you not paid it But that's not true. Have you not paid any attention to this show at all? That was a weird delivery. There have been plenty of instances in which Rick has what? But it's an alien prison, not an Earth prison. Seriously, why the fuck are you trying to apply real-life logic to this fake prison?
You're not on my side. That means I gotta kill you. Thing is, the whole fucking world is coming on my name. Yeah, I'm a maniac. Yeah, I'm a maniac. Yeah, I'm a maniac. Yeah, I'm a maniac. Maniac. Yeah, I'm a maniac.
Goodbye, Mr. Cookie President.
Electing a cookie as a president. Why would you elect anyone or anything that you know for a fact will eventually crumble?
Discount Jeremy takes things too literally, cliche.
So that's not a cookie. That's a wafer. And I will need you to kindly get the f out of here with that nonsense.
But wafers are a type of cookie.
How does this universe work? The camera is candy, the mic is candy, the gun silencer is candy, and the lollipop appears to be a candy weapon of some sort. So why would a gun or a sword be an actual weapon and not some other form of candy?
Who fucking cares? Seriously, who was watching this episode and thought, you know what would make this better? If they explained every single intricate detail of this fake universe in this over-the-top comedy show. I am very smart.
Not sure which is more convenient, that Morty somehow had thousands of gallons of water readily available to dump on a lava monster, that he knew precisely where the lava monster would be, or the portal gun itself.
Okay, slow your roll there, bud. First, it's not convenient that Morty had all this water. He obviously went underwater and used the portal there as a means of dumping the water. It's called good planning. Second, he knew where the monster would be because he's in possession of a bunch of Rick's tech. I don't think location pinpointing would be very difficult for fucking Rick Sanchez of all people. And third, Discount Jeremy sends the portal gun ex machina.
I assume the portal gun had some sort of scientific woo-woo that would zippity-zap a portal to life after activating the portal juice, but apparently just falling onto skin activates a portal just fine.
But why is this a sin? Just because you thought that it worked differently? That's stupid.
We find out in a moment that the opposite side of Morty's hand portal is not connected to a garbage dump, but rather the leg of a stranger. For this amount of garbage to pour through Nick's thigh, he must be buried in trash. But he isn't.
It's a cartoon, dude. Deal with it.
Oh, look, a failed attempt at the humorous pull nondescript lever to do something incredibly specific cliche.
That's not a fucking cliche.
When did Rick even train them for this? He literally just caught them outside and brought them in here to begin Pavloving them with the bird feed.
But in the context of this universe and Rick's intelligence, is it really out of the question?
Convenient escape route through the only window on an otherwise windowless building is convenient.
What the fuck are you talking about? Windowless building? What about all these? What do you think these are? Trains?
I like surprise gun hidey holes as much as the next person, but this secret cabinet should have been easily spotted below the table based on how high it lifts.
Discount Jeremy takes things too literally, cliche.
Morty, is that what I think it is?
The perfectly convenient appearance of the very item you were looking for?
Stop just randomly calling shit convenient. Morty was able to find the portal gun because he's used it before. Seriously, I'm starting to think that the TV Sins writers don't actually know what the word convenient means.
I know we're not supposed to question how Rick's magical scientific things do their bullshit, but his arm goes a really long way, and I just don't understand where the mechanical bits are stored when not in use.
Do I even really need to explain why this is a sin? If you don't get it, I'll start praying for your soul.
Busted! You don't get it, do you?
How you were able to secure a jetpack and how you've already mastered it in this short amount of time?
But again, this is the universe of Rick and Morty, so why the fuck do you think this is unrealistic in-universe?
Morty survives this.
Yeah, 'cause he lost a hand. Seriously, does Discount Jeremy think it's impossible to survive a severed hand? I mean, the show literally even shows him cauterizing the wound, so why does this sin exist?
I suppose one might think I'm about to remove a sin for this emotional scene of Rick and Morty breaking up, but instead I'm removing one because I appreciate that this show has taught me to not give a shit about anything that happens in it. Shutting off emotions is healthy.
Discount Jeremy is a heartless bastard.
You on my rock and you weren't living solid. I don't know how we can progress.
Show does not contain chapters 1 through 12.
Ha ha, it's a joke. I get it. But did anyone actually find it funny? No? That's what I thought.
He's anti-heroic! Run!
Because he took out one of the hench owls? Is Luke an anti-hero every time he shoots a stormtrooper?
I mean, Rick is kind of the anti-hero of all anti-heroes, wouldn't you say?
Good luck.
I've never had 1,000 crows fly down my throat before, but if I did, I highly doubt I'd be able to say anything audible afterwards.
Discount Jeremy tries to find logic in an episode of Rick and Morty cliche.
So wasting 1,000 crows when a few grains of rice would have done the trick. What? That's an urban legend?
Skip.
What's the point?
Here's 2.
I count 8. 9 if you include the sword.
There are 2 wings, dipshit.
Guy who screamed run decided to stay and cheer. Hypocrite.
Discount Jeremy calling someone a hypocrite is hypocritical.
These Morty cameos in Rick and Two Crows are forced and getting out of hand.
Skip.
Episode does not contain a Mr. Molemap, Paki-chan, or Bubrina the Unrealistic Body Image Witch.
A whole bunch of bullshit.
Setting aside that this isn't even how real crows sleep, does Rick strike you as the kind of person that would be down for this kind of crow-habitation agreement?
Yeah. I mean, they've built up his weird-ass infatuation with crows for a while now, so why wouldn't he?
Wait, that's it? The long-awaited Chapter 13 of Rick and Two Crows ends after just 5 minutes? Who will avenge Pussifer?
And this is a massive skip.
Will the Silver Scurfer find a way to cure his dandruff in time?
I thought I said skip.
Show requires watching Rick and Two Crows Chapter 13 to understand what happened between the end of last episode and now, and why Morty now appears as a middle-aged schlub.
So this is played as a joke, but did anyone find this shit funny? Didn't think so.
Sure, I should be paying attention to the family's reunion conversation, but why is the wall a watered-down sherbet color?
Who the fuck gives a shit?
Hi, I'm Citadel's new mascot, Andy, because this place wouldn't be home without Rick's Andy Morty's.
Except Rick and Morty never uses an ampersand. It's always the full word and. So I believe this is actually Ampersandy, who has somehow escaped the Magic Citadel, home to various pins and or tellers.
What the fuck? Okay, ignoring the last part of that sin, which I thought was supposed to be funny, but wasn't, ampersands mean and, so the whole Andy thing technically works.
But the second he reveals he's evil, we're gone.
Show then cuts to an overhead shot of the dinner table that includes a Jell-O mold dish, which is the first reveal that President Morty is evil.
A whole bunch of bullshit.
Tell me how one might bring down the central finite curve? All right, time to go, Morty. I want to know what he's talking about.
Me too. I'm sure it will be a completely coherent story point that I won't need an advanced degree in physics, a few days to rewatch old episodes, and 5 hours of in-depth mining of the Rick and Morty fan wiki just to understand.
Oh boy. Discount Jeremy is gonna be complaining about how complicated this very simple plan is. Bringing down the central finite curve removes the barrier between the universes in which Rick is the smartest being in existence from the universes where he's not. That's it. It's that simple.
This is why we're with them. This is why we're alive. What the f?
No idea, man. You're on your own with this.
I think this technically counts as a Discount Jeremy double dips cliche.
I mean, Dadoy, I'm basically Inspector Gadget.
I would have gone with Inspector Convenience, but fine, sending it either way.
I think it's about time to say this. Discount Jeremy calls things convenient for no reason cliche.
Does he like it? It's a metaphor for capitalism.
I think I've seen this before. You created a being that gets off on you getting hurt and then transfers that energy back to you to use on others. So basically it's 50 Shades of Vibranium? That was close. Let me try that one again. So basically it's 50 Shades of Black Panther?
This sin is so stupid and unfunny that I think my brain just died a little.
Tonight, I do that thing I want to do. With the curve thing.
Title of my text tape?
Nope. Unfunny joke is unfunny.
Hopefully we can snag some untainted fluid at the source and get the f*** out of here.
Title of my sex tape.
No. I said no. Go take a time out.
You knew when you did this that I couldn't help but send 2 full minutes of confusing and pretentious exposition summed up as...
Whoa. Dead wife?
Discount Jeremy sins something he likes cliche.
Still got a way out they never thought of. Operation Phoenix.
And me if I can't remember back 2 years ago as to what that is, huh? I can barely remember the plot lines of shows I watched last week.
There are so many random sins that mean absolutely fuck all in this video that I'm willing to just throw up 19 sins on this bitch. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do it.
Even if I did remember that episode, I'd probably also remember that Mortys were never part of the deal. But I don't, so I'll just send that this Morty has no nipples.
Checking out a 14-year-old boy's lack of nipples is probably worth a sin, right?
I'm going to be honest. I don't have the slightest clue about what's going on here. I think Evil Morty is breaking the curvy thingy that separates the genius Ricks from the dumb Ricks by launching himself towards a space anus fueled by the blood of Rick and Mortys who try to use the Operation Phoenix callback, while our Rick and Morty are trying to escape the resulting gravitational pull by using a Unity metaphor drive booster as the Citadel is flooded and poisoned by portal juice. And
first of all, this sin goes on for some time. And second, this is the third time this video that Discount Jeremy has sinned the fact that he's too stupid to understand what's going on. So here's another sin for your idiocy.
I'm sitting on balconies out with my daughter, we talking about what you said. I'm feeling alive, it's ironic we having this moment right after your death. You raised me into a person I love and I credit you for all the strength. You lost a lover and all of your friends and you kept it $1 to the bank. I know you were lonely, I wrote about it, tried to help you but you wouldn't budge. Put a jag about the fast and I'm forgetting all the times that I should grudge.
Don't worry, Morty. We still got a way out they never thought of. Operation Phoenix.
Doesn't that still mean like death?
Sure, but the joke's on them because we just found a back door to getting off this rock.
I've been drinking all night and bitch, I still feel okay. I see you can't hang, you ain't got nothing to say. I be drinking silver, but don't come in second